see the title, y'all see the thumbnail, y'all know why y'all here. Hit that like button, y'all. We need at least 5 likes on this. I know that ain't shit. That's why I need y'all to get it. I want to see if y'all gonna get the 5 likes. Let's get 5 likes. Hit that like button. Without further ado, let's get straight to it.
It seems like just yesterday, every
This shit
single
so low.
musician had
That's why.
Vevo in their YouTube channel name, Vevo in the bottom left of their videos, and there were even YouTubers putting Vevo on their diss tracks because it made them look more official. But this has left people with a few questions like, what even is Vevo? Why was their name on every single YouTube video? And whatever happened to it? Well, it turns out that Vevo was a big scheme cooked up by the music industry that eventually failed. So to understand that, we got
See, I ain't gonna lie, back in the day, like back in the day, folks, niggas was watching on demand. You gotta be a real OG to know that. On demand music videos had the Vevo in it.
They go back to Vevo's inception. Vevo was created back in 2008 when the music industry was recovering from quite a few problems. See, back in the day, music videos used to be aired on TV, on platforms like MTV, NBC, and more. This way, the producers and artists could get money directly from the networks and their advertisers. But then the internet came in and disrupted everything. CDs and records were being replaced by illegal file sharing services like Napster and LimeWire, because why would you buy something when you can just get it for free? So as you may know, this made the music industry
I ain't that old though, Chad. I don't know what the fuck you talking
about. Things like Spotify and iTunes were just coming out, so the industry hadn't really
This around
figured
my
out
time.
how to make money. That's why they came together and created
iTunes start
Vevo.
coming out
Universal
and shit.
Music Group and Sony Music Entertainment both got together in an evil corporate fashion and created Video Evolution, or Vevo for short. If those names sound familiar, that's because UMG and Sony are 2 of the big 3 record labels, which means that these 3 labels own pretty much every other smaller label. They thought that by creating Vevo, they could find a way to monetize music videos, and they did.
What we're trying to do is quite simple, which is to provide a high quality, premium music and video experience to as many people as possible in as many places as possible. On any television, on any computer, on any phone, on any connected digital platform, we want to provide the highest quality, premium music and video experience. So we do that today with our partner YouTube. So about 70% of music videos worldwide are consumed and discovered and viewed through YouTube. So what Vevo does is provide that experience inside of YouTube with the world's largest music companies.
The issue though was that YouTube was only monetizing like 3% of their videos at the time, while platforms like Hulu had ads on all of their stuff. But YouTube had been working with these record labels and wanted to keep music videos on their platform because that was one of their biggest sources of views. So YouTube and Vevo came to an agreement. Universal, and eventually some of the other labels I mentioned, would put their music videos on YouTube and Vevo would distribute them. Google hosted them on YouTube and Vevo's website as well. Vevo was also in charge of selling ads to advertisers. Most ads on YouTube videos, like the one you're watching right now, are sold programmatically, where advertisers bid on a certain type of customer demographic, like specifically targeting which country they are from. Vevo had quite a few bidding wars over Taylor Swift's music videos, not because they're good,
You not
but
slick,
she gets a
gang.
lot of views. Also on long videos like interviews and things like
He
that,
almost
they
got
can
me,
sell
though.
slots
He
for
almost
ads
got
during
me.
the video as well. This way Vevo is able to make quite a bit more money from YouTube ads than your everyday YouTuber. So with all of that sorted out, Vevo got like $300 million in investment money, and they were preparing to launch. They acquired some other labels as distribution partners, furthering the music video monopoly, and then they were ready to launch. Vevo launched on December 8th of 2009 with 30,000 videos on their website from huge artists like Eminem, Lil Wayne, Michael Jackson, Lady Gaga, Kesha, Miley Cyrus, and many more. The website actually crashed on launch and in the first month got over 35 million views. Apparently they had already surpassed other websites like AOL Music, MySpace Music, MTV, Warner Music, and more. I was 7 when all of this was going down, so hearing about MySpace Music is new to me and pretty interesting.
I'm about to say, I
Regardless,
don't know
Vevo
about
was
no
going
MySpace
crazy,
music. I
launching
barely
in
even know what the
different
fuck
markets
MySpace
internationally,
is.
like European countries, Mexico, and more. They even got the other big 3 record label, Warner, to sign with them as a content distribution partner. And they were also distributing videos on MTV.com, which was a whole lot cooler back then. At this time, Vevo was getting most of its views, 80% to be exact, from YouTube. Because Vevo was a conglomerate of pretty much every big record label and small one, and they distributed these videos to YouTube, that's why every artist had their own Vevo page, like Eminem Vevo or Rihanna Vevo. That's also why pretty much every music video in the early 2010s and even up until this day have Vevo in the bottom left corner, or right, I can't remember. But that still leaves us with one question. What happened to Vevo, and why did I say they failed earlier? Well, they had a problem. Vevo wasn't making that much money as an actual company. Most of the money was going to YouTube and then to the record labels, leaving Vevo to pick up the scraps. Apparently, Vevo was also very expensive to run because of everything I mentioned, so pretty early on into the company's life, they tried to find a buyer for $1 billion, which didn't really work out. So Vevo had to come up with some other ways to make money. First, they started making other types of content on YouTube and their own website, like interviews, live stream concerts, and things along those lines, although that content was never super successful. Then they released an app to watch music videos on your phone, and when it first launched, it was actually very successful. By early 2011, they were
Man, what phone is that?
Content was never super successful. Then they released an app to watch music videos on your phone, and when it first launched, it was actually very successful. By early 2011, they were bigger than Facebook and right behind YouTube for video viewed content. By the end of 2011, Vevo was getting over 3.7 billion views a month. They had over 13 million downloads of their app, and they had made over 150 bucks, and they had made over 150 million dollars in revenue. But like I said, most of this money was going to YouTube and the labels, not
years
to
for
Vevo.
150
And because they
is
didn't
crazy.
want to rely so much on YouTube, they tried to diversify. They created something called Vevo TV that was supposed to be like Hulu, and they were also on apps like Roku, Apple TV, and more. It's likely that they were eventually plotting to become something like Hulu for music videos, where they wanted people to pay a monthly subscription to watch these music videos.
And so we think there's that one of the important things, and you hear this throughout the industry, that the move towards subscription, a more premium product, that's something we're very interested in and very much, working towards.
That's a subscription service, or does the whole thing go behind a paywall? Do I have to pay to watch Katy
No,
Perry?
we believe in a dual revenue stream.
This was a rumor for a while, but after consumers have had music videos for free for so long, it's very unlikely that would have ever happened. Regardless, for a while, like I just said,
paying
the
to watch a video.
diversification was working, but it didn't last long because in 2018, everything came crashing
YouTube
down
exists,
for
bro.
Vevo. Vevo had a few controversies that really hurt the company, and I'm not talking about the time some executives were ironically caught watching pirated content or when they were trying to work with Facebook to get people's info for targeted videos. The main issue they had was in 2018 when they found themselves in the crosshairs of some hackers from the group Armine. First, the hackers got into Vevo's servers and released 3 terabytes of their documents and videos. Then they got hacked again. This time, 2 hackers named Karoy SH and ProSox got into Vevo's YouTube channel. When they got in, they deleted Despacito, which was the most viewed Vevo video on YouTube, and they also renamed a ton of the videos as well, changed some thumbnails, and apparently this was some sort of pro-Palestine protest. I'm not sure which was the
This was good, bro. This is like one of the best TV shows ever. I'm not gonna lie. Money Heist is top 5 for me.
most viewed Vevo video on YouTube, and they also renamed a ton of the videos as well, changed some thumbnails, and apparently this was some sort of pro-Palestine protest. I'm not sure how much these hacks really affected Vevo, but it seems like everything started crumbling after this happened. The CEO stepped down, a bunch of important executives left, and they had to lay off dozens of employees. At the same time, Vevo was really struggling to compete with YouTube. It seemed like them putting their content on other websites or making their own website was a way to distance themselves from YouTube, so that way they didn't have to pay all of their revenue to YouTube. But that clearly didn't work, as YouTube is still the #1 site when it comes to watching music videos. Plus, the same year, YouTube just launched YouTube Music, so Vevo never became the Hulu or the Netflix of music videos. Instead, Vevo decided to wave the white flag. Vevo decided to shut down all of their other operations and just merge with YouTube to become a regular distributor. YouTube merged the Vevo accounts with the artist's official accounts to consolidate everything. So if you were subscribed to a Vevo account, your subscription would be switched over to the official artist account. YouTube said, Vevo's reach and business can continue to grow on YouTube as a direct result of simplifying the user experience through consolidation of an entire artist catalog into one channel, where Vevo videos are featured prominently. So basically, like Agario, YouTube just ate up Vevo. This is probably why it feels like you don't see the
That's a
Vevo
good analogy,
branding as
Tony.
much. I mean, we're all probably used to seeing the Vevo logo in videos, so we don't notice it very often, but it is still there. It's just that the channels don't have Vevo in their name anymore. And Vevo is still pretty successful after the merge with YouTube, as they have over 500,000 music videos that get over 26 billion views a month. You can still go to Vevo's
26 bill a
website and
month.
check out their content and their artists, but it always redirects you to YouTube. They also still host their videos.
Nigga, it
on
don't matter
Pluto
what
TV
they
and
got-
Roku,
who
but let's
they-
be
what the
honest,
fuck-
no one's going there to watch music videos.
It don't
like
matter.
Medium.com said, without
They're getting
assassinating
billions
YouTube,
per month.
there really wasn't enough room for both of them to coexist. The consumer isn't ever going to go to a second location for these
Even
same
if they get
products
10%
can
of
get
that,
first.
that's good.
So just
Even
because
if
it
they
looks
get
like they
1%
aren't
of that,
there,
that's
Vevo
good.
is still there operating in the shadows. However, their plans to take over the internet as the go-to music video service failed. Like Jordan Fraser said, Vevo isn't dead, it has regressed to the bottom of the video screen. It exists today as branding you'll continue to see on most music videos. It also exists as a reminder that the entire music industry is run by only a few people in expensive suits. If you like this video, you may like my video about some of the worst marketing attempts in the music industry, as many of
that's
these
about the
Vevo
end of this
era
road,
artists
huh?
came up with some really dumb ways to promote